What's up, everybody? Jordan Stewart here from Vover. Thanks so much for tapping into the Vover original show. Just a reminder that if you want to drop your opinions about the episode or respond to the host and guests with your voice, go and download the Vover app wherever you get your apps. Vover, voice over everything. Enjoyed the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Grind with your hosts, Slimzilla and Yeti.
What's happening? Well, back again with The Grind. It's happy Monday on my side. How about yours?
Oh, it's a great Monday over here, Jordan. What's up?
No, bro. Hey, man. The Prem started this weekend, so I was happy. And Chelsea won. Convincing winners, 3-0. And obviously, coming on Monday, we talked about like going over like different games. And yesterday we had the Spurs City game. A lot of talk before the game because obviously Harry Kane wants to go to City, and he didn't feature in the game. So I think everyone knows what he wants to do.
Well, I love the crowd.
That was the highlight point for me was because Spurs. It's a new stadium. I think it holds around 80,000 people. Spurs ended up winning 1-0 with a Son goal. But for me, the takeaway point was how players react with fans in the stadium.
They were in his head yesterday, or going at him, bro. With the "Are you watching? Are you watching Harry Kane?" Yeah. I love that. Like that really that got me as a sports fan. That pulls me in when the fans are that into what's going on with the team and what's going on, what's going on in that locker room. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, for me, it's that you could just see how just the players were reacting to like the crowd. And so I remember watching the start of last season when there's no fans, and it's night and day. If you go back and watch the film or watch the footage, it's night and day. Yeah, so for me, that was kind of the biggest takeaway. And obviously, Spurs had like the 80,000 backing them, basically. So it's almost like in the NFL with like Seattle have like the 12th man. And I think that stadium is kind of, depends if what happens with Harry Kane, but if they keep playing like that, they can be a force, man.
Bro, it was rocking in there, and the energy level that I thought Son and 25, what's his name, the defenseman for the Spurs?
The black kid.
Yeah, black. Yeah,
Tanganga. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I thought
he was man of the match for me.
I thought those two played excellent game, and the energy that they brought. They bring that kind of energy all year, and man, the fans being in the stands was so nice. Just between that and the football games I watched, you could just tell that the players' energy was skyrocketed. The announcers were happy to be there. Like, I mean, let's face it, last year was going through the motions, right? They were out there doing their best, but it is impossible to get juiced up the same that you do when there's 80,000 people.
It just feels like a training practice, right? It just feels like training. So
exactly.
Yeah, and then the Niners, obviously nobody knows who's going to be the quarterback at the start, and they're in a preseason mode now.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your thoughts on who's going to start as quarterback for them, or who do you think should start?
I don't think I can go there just yet, but I really like what they were doing with the young kid this weekend. Obviously, his second throw was a touchdown.
Was it like 80-yard bomber? Wasn't it?
A bomb. And you know what I loved about that whole play, and what I think if he is the starter, I think they should continue to move the pocket for him.
What do you mean
I think he has
by moving the pocket?
So getting him outside of the pocket so that he can use his legs.
Okay.
So the reason why that play was so great to me is he's really fast, right? Like he looked a lot like Russell Wilson to me on that play. And I think maybe that's what the Niners saw in him, where he was able to, play action, and then he's so fast that he can roll out, get outside of the pocket, and have tons of time to set up. Like a slower quarterback, by the time he turns around and gets outside of the pocket, the rush is already in his face. But he gets back so quickly that he can kind of set up, move around a little bit more, avoid a guy, do whatever he's got to do. And that that extra role that they give him gives him that added time, which I think is good for a young guy because maybe he's not going to always throw it exactly on time at first. A lot of the young guys don't. And it gives him an opportunity to use his feet and create that space that he needs. Because I did notice a few times it looked like he could step up into the pocket a little bit more. That's something a lot of young guys aren't good at right away with, moving around in that pocket when they're a young person. That can be a lot. There's a lot going on. I don't know how tall the guy is, but he looks like he's short. So he doesn't want
too big.
he doesn't want to be in that pocket anyway. He wants to be outside, moving around. And, that was just one throw, but it was a great throw.
Could you see the Niners doing something where they have Jimmy G and him come in and like kind of rotate in games?
Maybe. Honestly, if I was them, I would do the rest of the preseason like that. Yeah. I wouldn't let either one of them go with the twos anymore because from what I saw, they can't protect well enough.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than as an owner, GM, or even a teammate, like sitting back and seeing a guy that's your potential starter being protected by guys that can't protect him because he was getting hit quite a bit.
That's never good
for a young guy, man. You can ruin a young guy real quick, let him get hit wide open by some of these NFL D linemen in their first couple games. So
especially guys that are trying to they want to get in the team, right? Because normally the first couple of games are guys that are on the fringe or the cusp of trying to get into the team.
Right. And I think if you were to go across the board and count how many good defensive linemen there are versus how many good offensive linemen there are in the NFL, there's way more defensive linemen. So generally speaking, that second team defensive lineman, while he might not be elite, he's still pretty dang good. Those second team offensive linemen, they're not good. If you knew somebody was coming in and was a second team offensive lineman, like you're ready to eat, bro. Like that's pretty much how it is.
It's like what?
Pretty much. Like it's hard to find those guys. The big, Andrew Whitworths and the Jason Peters and then the guys like that were completely just lock them up, can't get around them type guys. Like those are one.
Why is that? Just because the sheer size of them and being able to be so mobile?
It's man. Like they're just athletic freaks, just kind of freaks in nature in general. These guys are 6'8", long arms. They're athletic. Like it takes a lot to be able to deal with the Myles Garretts and the other guys off the edge. So they have to be equally as gifted on offense. And I just think they're a little bit harder to find, than some of the defense linemen. So, because there was a lot of pressure given up in this game, but once again, I think the Niners were maybe not even starting all their starting offensive linemen in that game. So that's sort of where I was coming from, like thinking, man, I hope they get this kid protected and take care of him through the preseason because whoever's playing, there's a long season ahead. So they need to make sure that they make it. But bright future for him and a lot of guys over the weekend, man. There was some guys catching my eye on a lot of team like that. Patrick Surtain the second, he looks like a baller for Denver at corner. I mean, that dude, he had a pick six. He had some breaks on the ball that I haven't seen out of a lot of guys, especially not a guy his size. Yeah. So I'm really excited to watch what he does.
When you have like guys like that perform well, that are on, like I said, the cusp, do they then pull them out and kind of blend them in with more of the first team players so that they can see? Because I'm guessing that the level's different, right? From like, say, this game compared to like next week or the week after. The level is, I assume, is going to get higher each time, right? So would they see that and be like, okay, well, let's put him in a situation where he's playing against better players?
Yeah, I think so. But I think a lot of the KC's guys were still out there. It's always hard to tell in the preseason game, like you said.
Yeah,
they get more amped up as things go, and you got to remember they're going to be doing it in practice as well. That's a pretty good defense over there that the Niners are running around with. So I'm sure they're giving him a lot of first team reps in practice, maybe giving him a look at what it's going to be like. Because you're right, there's a lot of different things. For one, the people you're playing against, and two, who you're playing with.
Yeah, right.
Those receivers. A lot of those first team receivers are another gear. You got to put it out there. Like it's not it's not like laying it up to a dude running a 4.7. Like them dudes are ripping, right? So there's a lot of things to adjust to, and I look forward to seeing, you know, more of a competition. I didn't read anything to see what came out of that as far as, you know, what the Niners are thinking, but at least they know they got a little something, right? Like this, you can usually tell pretty quick if a kid can stand in, take a hit, make a throw, and he was doing those types of things. So I'm excited for him.
It's still early days, but hey, it's all about the Premier League for now. Let's just end it on Chelsea winning convincingly, and even though it was against Crystal Palace, it was just a game that was dominated from start to finish, and then obviously we got Lukaku coming in as well. So for me, I'm saying it on record now. Chelsea's going to win the Premier League,
bro.
And then tomorrow we've got Sean Wright-Phillips that he's played for Chelsea and Man City, so it'd be good to get his insight.
Yeah, let's see what he has to say. I mean, I might be hopping on this Hotspurs bandwagon. I know it's early, but the energy they played with and the Christmas tree defense, is that what they were saying? Christmas tree?
Well, basically it's like a 4-3-2-1 formation.
Bro,
most of the time it's like
4-4-2, 4-4-3. The middle was not there. You cannot get down the middle.
It's Christmas time.
It was
for now, anyway. In North London at Tottenham, it's Christmas time, but
nope.
I'll ask the same question come November, December time, and then we'll talk about it.
It was Christmas time, but there was no presents for Man City.
Yeah, I don't know. Cool. Hey, we'll end it on that then.
All right, bro.
Yeah, like I said, we've got Sean Wright-Phillips coming in tomorrow, so that should be good.
Yes, sir. Let's keep it rolling.
Vover.